It's Monday, February 19. In the headlines, in local news, a Privy Council to rule on a Vibes Cartel case. Fraud hit SSL repays some clients. In business news, JMMB Group launches Moneyline app. Regionally, Guyana takes no responsibility for oil spill off Tobago's coast. And in sports, we have news in cricket. Trinidad and Tobago's Red Force celebrates victory against West Indies Academy. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom. Stocks and Securities Limited is moving towards the reorganization of client assets. Reports are that more than 14 billion Jamaican dollars in local securities has been transferred to clients' accounts. The company sent out a notice to clients explaining that as at February 16, more than 1,000 client accounts totaling $14.5 billion were transferred to other local brokers and financial institutions for SSL clients. This is a continuation of phase 1 of the process to have outstanding funds and assets returned to clients, which started September 2023. SSL has announced, however, that it will stop processing the transfer of local securities on February 29. As for cash accounts, SSL says $626 million has been paid out to more than 200 clients as at February 16. Some Jamaicans, especially fans of Adidja Palmer, popularly known as Vibes Cartel, are anticipating the court's decision on whether he will be free by summer of this year. Some legal observers have said the highly anticipated ruling by the panel of 5 UK justices is expected to be handed down around that time. The 4 appellants, Adidja Palmer, Sean Campbell, Kyra Jones and Andre St. John, were all convicted of the murder of Clive Williams on March 13, 2014. They are seeking to have the conviction quashed. The Jamaican Court of Appeal dismissed their appeal against the convictions and their cases are now before the Privy Council. The Jamaica Debates Commission says it is satisfied with the 2 debates it organized between the representatives of the 2 major political parties, the governing Jamaica Labour Party and the opposition People's National Party, ahead of the February 26 local government election. The second debate happened on Saturday, February 17, at the Creative Production and Training Center at Arnold Road in Kingston. The JLP was represented by local government minister Desmond McKenzie, Kingston's mayor and councillor candidate Delroy Williams, and candidate in St. James Municipal Corporation Richard Vernon. The PNP was represented by Andrew Swaby, who is seeking to return to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Sean Barneswell, who is also seeking to return to the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, and Caden Harty from the St. Anne Municipal Corporation. Questions were raised around the conditions of markets and cemeteries, streamlining the number of municipal corporations, water and sewage, infrastructure management, increasing market fees, and the approach to risk disaster management, as well as traffic congestion and more. Here are some highlights.
Please identify 1 cemetery, a market, and 1 town centre in a corporation controlled by your party that you are proud of, approve of, and say why.
Hopewell in Hanover, brand new market that has been built, clean town, congested however, but it's a part of the overall development. The work is ongoing. I can take you to the town of Montego Bay. I can take you to the town of Otrius. There are several town centers across the country, which speaks volume to the work of the local authorities.
Your garbage is taking more than 2 weeks to be collected, even though the minister and the JLP will brag about having few trucks, 50 trucks. This obviously will cause in some cases, rat infestation, maggots in your rubbish at home.
Let's look at the issue of garbage. They did not hand over a single garbage truck to the NSWMA during their tenure before we took control in 2016. We handed over 100 trucks under our administration and 50 additional trucks coming.
Our markets are in a deplorable condition. I would just say that, if I want to characterize it, they are dirty, they are stink. I'm a user of the market. I use the market at least 3 times per month. I go to the Coronation Market, Minister, and it's in your constituency, and they are dirty. There's no bathroom facilities there. There's no portable waters there.
If you want to offer service in the markets, then you must consider looking at the existing rates that they are operating under, because these rates go back as far as 20, 25 years ago. So is it a question that we want the good service? Are we not prepared to pay for those services? These are considerations. And these are issues that the PNP mayors have sat in meetings at the ministry to discuss and have agreed.
The Jamaica Teaching Council on Friday, February 16, held its annual Beginning Teachers Synergy Conference at the Micro University College in Kingston. The conference saw 200 teachers pinned and inducted as mentors under the JTC's mentorship program for beginning teachers and the teachers returning to the profession after a 5-year hiatus. Minister of Education Favour Williams was present at the conference and gave the new inductees some encouragement. Danita Rodney tells us more.
Currently, 15 teacher training institutions and departments are involved in the mentoring and induction of the Beginning Teachers program, and every year these institutions train 1,300 new teachers for the system. Speaking at the conference on Friday, Minister Williams says this shows the participants' commitment to professional growth and how it aligns with the ministry's trend program.
The commitment you have shown to your professional growth speaks volumes about your dedication to the craft of teaching. The theme of this conference, Empowering Tomorrow's Leaders, Embracing Transformation in Education, encapsulates the essence of the transformative journey you're about to embark upon. This training aligns with the Education Ministry's Transforming Education for National Development that we call our TREND program.
The Education Minister reminded them that they were responsible for the shaping of the future.
You are the architects of tomorrow. You hold in your hands the power to shape and mold the future leaders of our nation. It is a profound responsibility, but let me assure you, it is also an incredibly rewarding one.
She continued, saying that their daily interaction will have an impact on students.
Your interaction on a daily basis with students in our classrooms all across Jamaica, your interaction will determine if our students embrace education or are turned off from education. A huge responsibility rests on your shoulders. But I know based on your training that you are up to the task.
Minister Williams also pointed out that the program has allowed for them to thrive in the education landscape.
The induction sessions you have undergone, covering professional conduct, administrative responsibilities, effective use of digital tools, challenges and responses in the classroom, and exploring career opportunities are the building blocks that will fortify your foundation as educators.
The underpinning goal of the mentorship program is teacher collaboration that keeps them on the cutting edge of education and ultimately result in better student outcomes. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I'm Danita Rodney.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. JMMB Group, during its recent investor briefing on February 15th, announced that its Moneyline app is now available for clients to download from the Google Play and Apple stores. Gifford Rankine, General Manager, Digital Services at JMMB Group shared, "We are happy to deliver on our promise to clients by providing a truly user-friendly mobile app that serves as a gateway for clients to effortlessly manage their finances and improve our client experience." The JMMB Moneyline app comes on the heels of the launch of the JMMB Moneyline IPO platform in December, which allows non-JMMB clients to participate in initial public offerings IPO, additional public offerings APO, rights issues, and preference share offers. Rum manufacturer J. Ray & Nephew Limited has announced what it calls a groundbreaking investment of US $65 million in a state-of-the-art Dunder Vinasy treatment plant and a new US $14.1 million column still at its new Yarmouth distillery in Clarendon. According to the Campari Group subsidiary, this cutting-edge technology enables the production of multiple rum brands from a single column, marking a significant leap forward in the industry. This announcement heralds a great win for the rum industry in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, placing locally made Jamaican rum in a more competitive category. Georgina Rwanda, Senior Director of Supply Chain at J. Ray & Nephew, emphasized the strategic nature of this investment, stating, "This innovative investment by Campari is aimed at increasing J. Ray & Nephew's capacity, as well as reducing our fuel consumption. Our aim is to reduce the impact of our operations on the environment. There is a viable market ahead regarding the future of rum." China holds around 4% of Jamaica's total debt stock, and the island is the Caribbean's biggest beneficiary of Chinese investment at US $3.16 billion, according to the US House Foreign Affairs Committee. Industry, Investment and Commerce Minister, Senator Aubin Hill, who is now in New York marketing the island as investment ready, highlighted that Jamaica, which was viewed as an emerging market basket case, has now transformed into a standout case. "We had to go through very tough and bitter doses of medicine, fiscal medicine, to get our house back in order," explained Minister Hill, speaking during an interview in New York. "Now what the island wants is investments," declared the Industry, Investment and Commerce Minister. "We're not looking for loans. We're at a place where we have moved our balance sheet to a position where it can stand on its own," Hill said in conclusion. During trading on February 16, 2024, the top advancing stocks covered the technology, manufacturing, and real estate sectors on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. T-Tech Limited shares advanced 23.27% for a 47 price increase to close at $2.49 with one share traded. Blue Power Group Limited shares advanced 15.12% for a 44-cent price upward movement to close at $3.35 with 436 shares traded. Cygnus Real Estate Finance US dollar shares advanced 14.29% for a US 1 cent price increase to close at US 8 cents with 15 shares traded. On the declining stocks that traders experienced on February 16, 2024, the top three losers covered the real estate, distribution, and construction sectors on the stock exchange. Epley, 7.5% shares declined by 24.65% for a $1.93 price decrease to close at $5 $0.90 with 5,115 shares traded. 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited variable preference share declined by 15% for a $32.55 price drop to close at $184.45 with 12 shares traded. Paramount Trading Limited declined by 12.84% for a 19-cent drop to close at $1.29 with 2,814 shares traded. Trading activity on the first-tier market of the Trinidad and Tobago stock market for February 16, 2024 registered a volume of 369,644 shares crossing the floor. The shares valued at TT $6 million crossed the floor. JMMB Group Limited was the volume leader with 132,000 shares changing hands for a value of 191,000 TT dollars, followed by National Enterprises Limited with a volume of 103,000 shares being traded for 391,000 TT dollars. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On February 16, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $19.2 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $17.2 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.21 and bought the US dollar for $156.06. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.15, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $7.93 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $111.14 and bought for $119.07. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $8.08, selling it for $201.33 and buying it for $193.25. For our credit report tip of the day, your payment history accounts for a significant portion of your credit score and is a crucial indicator of your credit worthiness. Consistently making on-time payments across all your credit accounts demonstrates reliability and responsibility to potential lenders. Treat each payment as an investment in your financial future and watch as your credit worthiness grows, opening doors to better borrowing terms and opportunities. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve, and I'll see you next time.
In regional news, Barbados' Prime Minister has again called for decisive action to mitigate the impact of climate change. She made the appeal as she was presented with the 2024 Errol von Kleist Award at the ongoing Munich Security Conference. Ms. Motley and U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John F. Kerry have been recognized for their efforts to advance climate action, justice, and security. Speaking after accepting the award, she warned of the implications if countries did not take steps to address the climate crisis.
In my own country, we may not see it in the form of hurricanes as much as other Caribbean islands or other islands in the Pacific, but we see it in terms of drought and scarcity of water. We see it in terms of the new threat of sargassum seaweed that comes right through the entire Caribbean region into the Gulf of Mexico, threatening the day-to-day lives of too many of our people. These things are causing too much displacement to ordinary people and ordinary families. If we do not sit up and take action in time, as I said in Glasgow and I've said repeatedly, we run the risk of marginalizing literally not just groups of people, but indeed states becoming failed states.
Guyana's Vice President Dr. Brat Jagdeo on Thursday said Guyana will not accept responsibility for the oil spill off the coast of Tobago, despite reports that the vessel was traveling from Panama to Guyana. At a party conference, Jagdeo said Guyanese authorities have not confirmed that the vessel was indeed destined for Georgetown.
I don't know about that. First, they didn't know anything about it. They were trying to find out from us whether the vessels came to Guyana. So I'm not sure. But even if they're destined for Guyana, any vessel from any part of the world destined for Guyana could topple over, could sink, and then create problems anywhere in the world. So would we stop vessels coming from Guyana? So were they bringing the oil to Guyana? Were they bringing this oil to Guyana?
That's a question for you, sir.
Oh, okay.
Starberg, so my questions.
Okay.
Are you concerned that Guyana could face any legal ramification from this spill and its impact on marine life?
Legal ramification for what? A vessel that... What? Explain that.
There was a statement that was released by Trinidad and Tobago, and it said that the vessel was destined for Guyana when it toppled and those spills occurred. And currently there is approximately, I think, 15 kilometers of Tobago shore that they're trying to clean up with all of this.
You're not explaining the sensible thing. So the logic is that you're saying that the logic, if a vessel is leaving the United States of America destined to Barbados, privately owned vessel, and sinks off the coast of the Bahamas, that Barbados now, a sovereign country, must bear responsibility for that vessel, because it's a private vessel coming to the country to do private business there. The state of Barbados must be responsible for the spill. Is that the logic? Is that the logic? Is that the logic? Well, it's stupid. It's not sensible.
In Trinidad and Tobago, latest available data from the Central Statistical Office, or CSO, indicates that the unemployment rate year-on-year fell in the third quarter of 2023.
The central bank released its Economic Bulletin January 2024 on Friday. The data on the labor market reveals the unemployment rate measured 3.2% in the third quarter of 2023, markedly lower than the 5.4% recorded in the same period 1 year earlier. According to the statistics, the number of persons with jobs increased by 20.8 thousand persons in the third quarter of 2023, while the number of persons without jobs and seeking employment fell by 12.6 thousand persons. The central bank notes several sectors recorded large increases in the number of employed people, including wholesale and retail trade, restaurants and hotels 9.8 thousand persons, construction, including electricity and water 7.3 thousand persons, community, social and personal services 6.3 thousand persons, and transportation, storage and communication 4.1 thousand persons. Notable declines in the number of persons employed were recorded in the financing, insurance, real estate and business services sectors 4.3 thousand persons, and agriculture, including other agriculture, forestry, hunting and fishing sectors 2.5 thousand persons. In terms of gender, the female unemployment rate measured 4.1% in the third quarter of 2023, markedly lower than the 6.2% recorded in the same quarter 1 year prior. Similarly, the male unemployment rate fell in the third quarter of 2023 to 2.6% from 4.8% in the third quarter of 2022. The youth, persons aged 15 to 24 years old, unemployment rate decreased to 9.3% in the third quarter of 2023, from 11.4% in the third quarter of 2022. Data on retrenchment notices filed with the Ministry of Labour indicated that 101 persons were retrenched during July to October 2023, a decline from 511 persons in the comparative period of 2022. The central bank indicates retrenchments over this period occurred in the petroleum and other mining industries, distribution, construction, and the finance, insurance, real estate, and business services. Karen Cozier-Phillip, TTT News.
In sports, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force celebrated a commanding 6-wicket victory over the West Indies Academy at the Connery Cricket Ground on the weekend. TTT Live has the story.
To sport now, the TNT Red Force celebrated a commanding 6-wicket victory over the West Indies Academy at the Connery Cricket Ground. Resuming their overnight total of 84 for 3, the Academy's middle and lower order batters had good contributions to the eventual end score of 224. Colin Bowen tucked it top scored with 46 not out. Anderson Phillip claimed the best figures for the Red Force, taking 4 wickets for 33 runs. Brian Charles also grabbed 4 wickets and Carrie Pearce supported with 2 wickets. The TNT outfit was set 60 runs to win on day 3 and lost Cephas Cooper early for just 6 runs. But they were unbothered getting to their 60-run target in 16.2 overs. The Red Force next take on the Leeward Islands Hurricanes beginning on Wednesday, February 21st at Warner Park in St. Kitts.
Prison Service FC had a fine start to the Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League season, even topping the standing at 1 point. But they fell on lean times before the carnival break and needed to get back to winning ways to climb out of the bottom half of the standings. On match day 12, they met Central FC.
After 10 matches, Central FC was still in search of their first points of the season in the TTPFL when they met Prisons FC at the La Hoqueta Recreation Ground in Phase 2. 3 minutes in, Prisons created the first real chance. Nathaniel Peruz at the end of a move he started, but the Central goalkeeper directed the effort over the top. It was Peruz on spot in the 14th minute to register the opening item as he nods home the cross from Kevon Williams. Most of the action was in the central half of the field, and their defenders were becoming overworked. And this clumsy tackle on Kemuel Rivers led to a dangerous free kick being awarded just outside the area. Kevon Williams stepped up and expertly scores a well-measured free kick to give Prisons FC a 2-0 lead. And the faces on the central bench told the story. But on the field, they upped their game and had some looks from distance. Captain on the night, Shane Hospitalis, with this effort. As regular skipper, Nathan Lewis, looks on from the stands. 2-0 Prisons, the score at halftime. They got back to scoring as the second half kicked off. Peruz benefiting from a defense-splitting pass from midfield, and he rounds the keeper to finish well in the 46th minute. 3-0. Ace striker Ricardo John then sliced wide after being released by a quick throw from Williams. No worries about that though, as John would do all the hard work for Peruz to get that 4th goal for Prisons and his hat-trick in the 56th.
He still has possession, and this is going to be goal number 3. Nathaniel Peruz has got his hat-trick.
Central had a chance for a consolation in the 84th minute of this Nikolai Orr free kick, but the rebound was sent skyward. Prison Service FC back to winning ways with a 4-0 win over Central FC, who are still pointless. Wayne Cunningham, TTT Sport.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at